So you probably use the word epic, you know, like people will say, yeah, that was an epic time, epic this or that. But where did the word epic come from, no? Let's take a look here. The epic poem is a long narrative poem, usually about the heroic deeds of a person or a nation. Maybe you've read Homer's The Odyssey or the Iliad. But, you know, if you have an example, you're not going to have a whole epic poem on the CLEP test. They're super long. So I would imagine you probably only give an excerpt to analyze if you're given part of one. The epic poem is usually in the form of a couplet with the same rhyme structure, as that was the easiest way for traveling bards to sing them as they went from town to town in medieval times. So it's kind of interesting because in the olden days when people, you know, way back before recordings, way back before, you know, any of the stuff we can just put in our ears now and listen to, people would gather around a square or they'd gather around the court, and these traveling minstrels or bards would go and sing. You know, this is the tradition in many countries. You know, in France you've got the troubadours. You've got this happening in Spain, across Italy, and minnesingers in Germany. You know, even today you've got the bersolari in Basque. You know, they have these competitions in public where, you know, they'll have these kind of like, you know, what we like rap battles where they go back and forth and they'll sing these songs to each other. So this sort of poetry is, you know, has a long tradition. This oral poetry from medieval times. And, you know, it's kind of the way people were entertained because, you know, there weren't any cinemas, there was theater, but, you know, sometimes a bard would come around and he would sing and people would gather and they'd hear an epic poem. And when you have rhymes in a couplet like that, it's easy to sing them because a lot of the times people would sing along. You know, maybe if you ever go to concerts and they'll say like, you know, they'll sing part of a song and then the singer will stop and everyone in the crowd will sing the next verse. That's because they know what's coming. So sometimes, you know, things like that with a rhyme scheme, you can anticipate what the next words might be. Now, the mock epic, or call it mock heroic, is written in heroic couplets. As we can see here in Alexander Pope's The Rape of Lock. Obviously, this isn't medieval, this is more modern, but it's kind of, that's why it's called mock epic, because it's kind of a, you know, rejuvenance, or you've got a newer version of that. So let's take a look here. This lock the muse shall consecrate to fame, and midst the stars inscribe Belinda's name. So you could see how, you know, that could be sung, this sort of epic voice. There's a great connection between poetry and music, and, you know, I want to keep hitting that home because, you know, if you make those connections, it'll help you remember things and help you appreciate what we're doing here with the poetry. So that's pretty much the base of the epic.